What's up guys, Garrett here with Selftaughtdev. In this CSS tutorial, we are gonna go over variables in CSS. So we've got our code pulled up here. Let me bring this over here and let's get going. So in CSS, hopefully you've done like algebra at some point in your life and you know what a variable is. It's basically like you can have X equal to red, and then you can use X anywhere you want in your code. So let's say we have a primary background color, and that primary background color is purple, and we use that color. Let's say we assign that like 20 times in our code, right? And then one day the designer comes to us and he says, hey, we want to change the background color to this other shade of purple versus the one it currently is. Without variables, you'd have to go in and change it in 20 places if it's used 20 places in your code. With CSS variables, you'd only have to change it in one place, so it'll save you a lot of time. And that's why CSS variables are a good thing. So how do we use it? Well, we've got our styles up here. Hopefully this is big enough for you to read. We are going to say :root, and this is where you will declare your variables. So to declare one, we will say dash back, actually we'll say primary background, and we'll do FA. Actually, we'll make something more noticeable. Let's grab this. We'll do like a purplish, and we want the opacity to be full. Cool, so this is the color. So this is our variable, so this can be named whatever you want. You could name this purple rhino or just purple. I try to stay away with naming it a specific color versus like primary background or primary or secondary background, tertiary background, something like that. Because if you name it purple and then the designer's like, or the business is like, hey, we're completely changing our color scheme, this is now gonna, the background's now gonna be red, then you would have to either leave your variable with purple and then change this to a red hex value, which would get kind of confusing because you'd be going through your code and you'd see purple background, but it'd actually be a red background. So that'd be kind of confusing. You want to keep this as something that wouldn't need to be renamed, which is why we use primary background. Or you could just use primary, whatever you want. As long as you got these two dashes in the front here, you're good. And then we save that, and then we can use this wherever we want in our code. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that because I don't want to re-type it. And we'll go down to our cards. Where are our cards at? Right here. Actually, what was I gonna use this on? Let's say we want the title tags that have an odd number value to be this color, or have this as their background for some reason. So we'll say h1 background. We still use the CSS background property to set this. And then we're gonna say var for variable and add that. And then if we save and go to our code here, you can see that the h1 has that purple background now. Now let's say we want that on our h3 and 5 as well. So we'll say h3 and h5 and save. Now if we go back to our code here, the h1, 3, and 5 all have that purple background. Now let's say the designer came to us and he's like, hey, I want this to be red now. So we change it to red and save. We don't have to rename the variable because it's still something that makes sense, and you want your code to be readable. That's another reason why you don't want it to name it purple and then have this be a different color. Because if somebody else is working on the code and they're like, okay, we're using purple background here, then let's use it here too. And then it turns out being red, that'd cause some issues. But we just change that to red and then go back to our code. Now they're red. So that is CSS variables in a nutshell. And you don't have to use it for background. You can use it for other stuff too. Like let's say we want the primary text color to be #0. Actually, let's do like purple. I'm bad at picking colors on the spot. Yellow. No, that's not going to show up very well. Blue. Maybe that would work. So now in here we can say color var primary color. What do we call that? Primary text color. So we'll stick that in there. We need those two dashes at the front. And then let's stick that on these as well. So now the text color of those are blue. And you can do that with pretty much any CSS property, like width, height, anything you want. You can make it a variable. But with this, if these were going to be the same, I'd probably just do this and this. And when you do this, you're basically selecting multiple elements at once. So you're saying, hey, grab the H1, grab the H3, grab the H5, and apply these to those elements. So if we save, even though we're doing it like this, it's still showing up in our sheet here. So I think that's about it for this one. So now for your CSS challenge, I want you to grab the even numbered title elements and give those a primary background color without looking at my code, minimize it. Hopefully you took some notes or something like that. Give the even numbered title elements a background color with a variable. Adjust their font size with a variable. We didn't do that, so that'll be a challenge. And yeah, I think we'll just give it a nice 2 steps for this one. So if you have any questions, actually come post a picture of that in the Discord when you're done. Discord links in the description. And if you have any questions on this challenge, post it in the CSS questions section. This is going to be challenge number 7. So post this in challenge number 7 in the Discord. And give me a thumbs up if this is helping you out. Let me know if you have any concerns or anything like that in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Peace.
Round 1.